Hi, I'm Ann Taylor, and I'm an executive and leadership coach.
And I am Sue Belton. I'm also a leadership coach, a career coach, and I am Anne's co-leader.
We co-lead an emotional intelligence leadership program together.
Yeah.
And we're both authors.
Oh yeah, and we're both authors, and we're both award-winning coaches and authors.
So what I loved about Alchemy was the breadth of impact it had on me. I'm a practical person, so I loved some of the practical tools and concepts that they taught us. But I also loved the relationship parts. We learned about, finding right. And I learned about it as a concept, but I also got to practice it with Sue in the Alchemy training as a co-lead. So we actually got to practice things. So it was experiential as well as helping deepen our relationship so that we could be even better co-leaders.
Yeah, so all of the above. And for me, it was about really taking that time out and spending it on our relationship, because we spent so much time on content, on stuff. So it's really, and it felt kind of beautifully indulgent, like healthily indulgent, to spend that time on the relationship. It was lovely. Yeah. So the way that doing Alchemy has impacted our relationship and the way we lead together, well, I'll let Anne say what she thinks. But for me, I think it was really making us come to sessions, come to programs much more strategically. So as a joint entity together, and then from that place, working with other people, but also made, I think, us like much stronger as a unit and much more cohesive. And then on a practical note, it really affected both Anne and I's way of, we used to really focus on what was going wrong or who wasn't involved, all of that kind of stuff. But actually what we learned in Alchemy is just kind of let that go and not really focus on that, and then focus on the other elements of things that are going right. And that was a huge shift for us in terms of how we co-lead.
Yeah, all of that. And the phrase used in Alchemy is united front. And I really felt that a lot more after the training, where we had common language, we had a common framework, and we had a shared set of values that we had made much more transparent through that training, so that we were able to bring a united front. And it wasn't sort of Sue and I, or me and then Sue. It was us. So that was so brilliant in terms of the relationship, but also in terms of how we led. The week after our Alchemy training, we had another session with the client at the time, and it was hands down more effective and more enjoyable for us, and probably them even, from just having that Alchemy training.
And another bit is something that you'll learn on the course is something called learning points. And that was a huge shift for us. But what it does is it makes you really focus on what it is you want to get across, what it is you want people to remember. Whereas it's so easy otherwise to get caught up in the detail, in the this, oh, we're going to teach empathy, we're going to teach that. It's like, yeah, but what do you want people to know by the time they walk away? That was a huge, big change for us.
Yeah, learning points is in pretty much everything we do now. And it's that strategic concept that you talked about. We step back and go, what do we really want people to take away? Let's talk about that first. And then let's worry about the details or the particles of the actual training or the actual session.
I would say it's like marriage counselling, marriage therapy, couples, relationship, all of that. I would say I'm a real advocate of you do that preemptively, proactively, not when the shit hits the fan or there are problems down the line, but it's like prevention is better than the cure. It's actually really investing in your relationship. And actually, I would say you're the product, not the thing that you're delivering. So really investing in that, because I think that is what people buy. And that is what has the impact on people, not a little bit of this information or a bit of that information.
From a business perspective, even, we got feedback in the Alchemy weekend about the impact that we had, because we got a chance to experiment and to practice. And we got feedback about our impact and the energy that we created. And we actually took that feedback and we were able to capitalize on it with future client work in terms of, hey, we know what our strength is. Let's really own that. And it's a synergy of obviously Sue and I, but we were able to own it and it had a bigger impact with the client. It's funny because Sue and I have done supervision together. Sue and I have done coaching training together. And this is kind of the cherry on the top of, okay, how do we facilitate and co-lead together? So it's just another lens for looking at our relationship and our work together. We were so energized as well. We came out of that training so energized and focused and wanting to make these positive shifts. Because it's very easy to get tied into, oh, we've got an hour, or we've got a 2.5 hour session or a 3 hour session. What are we putting in? What are the exercises? Who's going to say what? And this was actually freeing of, okay, these are the 6 points that we want to get across. And so it actually let everything else fall away so that then we could focus on what do we really want them to take away and land those points.
Yeah, it's simplifying, because it's like as long as you know those learning points, and we put them up on as cards around our screens when we started doing online, as long as you're nailing those, you're sorting those, you can relax more. I think because we were experiencing something together, and it wasn't just that it was about our relationship, but that we were experiencing something together and we realized a lot about each other together. I thought that brought us closer as well.
Yeah, we'd go through an exercise and we'd notice, oh, I jump in, Sue hangs back. And we both experienced that because we did an exercise in Alchemy together. And so we actually talked about, what does that mean about each of us, and where might that be serving us and where might it not be serving us, and how does it show up in our client work? And so it gave us specific experiences that we could then unpick together and understand.
Oh, I think they really felt a difference, didn't they?
Yeah, as I said, we'd kind of done a session with the same client the week before, then we did Alchemy, and then we did a session with them after. And we didn't ask them specifically about those 2 sessions. And I'm sure if we did, there would have been a comment about, finding right, about letting go a bit, about having things land a bit deeper than just going through the exercise and the theory. We were very much in teacher mode, I think, a lot of the time. And this had us approach it with many different energy hats, as you'd learn in Alchemy.
Yeah, and I think we enjoyed it more because we let go of a lot of stuff. It was much more enjoyable.
Yeah, it felt more spacious afterwards.